the, the kind of key difference between teaching mindfulness and teaching a lot of other things is that what we're offering is a practice. We're helping people to learn something for themselves. It's not information. You can read 100 books on mindfulness and still not know how to meditate. And a lot of people actually do that, frankly. And so it's one of the reasons I don't even particularly care for the word teacher, because teaching is sort of associated with this idea of transmitting information. And sure, we have some information, but it's more that we are giving them the tools to have their own experience, have their own insights. One Buddhist monk I was speaking to at one time said, most religions have an orthodoxy, which is like the literature or the liturgy, but Buddhism has an orthopraxy, which is it's a practice rather than a teaching per se. So what we really want to do is get people excited about practice, right? We want them to want to practice. We want to inspire them, right? So that it's actually possible. There's one practice I've done that takes a lot of time. Like you have to go on a retreat for like a month to do it. And I found that when I would talk about it in like a 2-hour class, that it would just get people frustrated, or it would get them like I want that so badly. It would trigger something. And so I stopped teaching that because it wasn't inspiring them. It was actually having a negative impact. So thinking about what we're offering as an inspiration. And someone asked Julia Butterfly Hill, who was the woman who sat in a tree for a year or however, about, it said something about, you really inspire me. And she apparently said, I inspire you to do what? So I like that idea that inspiration doesn't mean like you feel good, like I'm really inspired. It means you're motivated to do something. So we're trying to motivate. And it's the hardest thing, actually, is to motivate people to meditate, right? Everybody's like, oh, I don't have time. Or, well, usually that's the answer. I don't have time. And these days, people ought to have the time. So then the last point, the subtle ideas, again, this is another reason why we're not just transmitting information. There's no exact answer to many different questions people can ask. And, when people ask a question in a meditation class, I sometimes give very different answers depending upon the person who's asking even the same question. Like you sense, we have to become very intuitive about where people are coming from and what they're looking for. And one of the other things that I often do is that I give one answer and then I say, and there's this, and it will be a contrasting answer just to fill it in, because again, it's not black or white. It's the subtlety of practice, of meditation practice. When you just say, just pay attention to the breath. Well, we know that's not the whole of teaching.